Okay, so this video is just a follow-on from the video before. However, we're going to be continuing working through these questions and looking at these questions here. Alright, so question 2, it says to find an amount as a percentage, and we talked about an example such as scoring 22 marks out of 25 marks on a maths test, and we want to see whether we get an A on an 80 for 85%. So using our double number line, we can interpret what we think this 22 out of 25 might be. We know that 25 is 100%, so they are on an equal place on the both number lines. So we want to find out what 22 is over here. The first thing to do is see that this is actually a fraction. We have, if I use some colour here, we have a 22 amount out of a total of 25 amount. So the first thing we need to do is write our 22 marks out of 25 as a fraction. Now we can see we're actually finding 22 25ths of 100% here. So we're finding this fraction of 100%. So all we then need to do is communicate that we're finding 22 25ths of 100%. Now over the years you might have learnt what often can mean in maths, and often it means to multiply. So you can see here we're going 22 25ths times 100. Now how do we write 100 as a fraction? Well, we put that over 1. Okay? Now we can solve this. So when we're multiplying fractions, we know we multiply the top numerators together and then we multiply the denominators together. But before we can do that, we're in year 9 now, so we should be able to find common factors and divide this further. So 25 and 100, well, they have a common factor, and their highest common factor is 25. 25 can go into 25 once, and 25 goes into 100 4 times. So then it's very simple. It's only 22 times 4 over 1 times 1, and we can work that out. We might need to do some working to the side. 22 times 4, 4 2s are 8, unless you can simply do that in your head. And we know that 1 times 1 is 1, and we know that the answer here is going to be 88%. And we can see that somebody who gets 22 out of 25, if the benchmark is to get 85%, would get an A. So yes, this person would get an A. So it's remembering very simple. When you have to turn a fraction into a percent, you need to see that fraction and remember that it's that fraction of 100%. Alright, so when you go down here, look at these questions now and have a go at doing them. See the fractions that you are looking at and consider how you might turn them into a percentage. You might stop the video now and finish through these. Alright, question 3 says find a percentage of an amount. Now this is very simple. Let's look at an example. So we have 20% of, let's say, $360. Say the question is asking that there was a sale and you want to find 20% of $360. Now 20% we know means 20 hundredths. Remember that from the earlier video, which was teaching us that whenever we see percent, we know that means hundredths. So 20 hundredths. Now before we learned that of meant times, and we know that 360 is going to be 360 over 1. Okay, so very simply we can simplify these fractions where we can, so we look for highest common factors. We have a few, so let's look at the top one here, 20 and 100. Well, we know when we simplify that, 20 goes into 20 once, and 20 goes into 100 5 times. And And we could simplify this further. I'm going to change colour to show that I've done it another step, because 5 can go into 360. 360 divided by 5, just a quick check on my calculator, is 72. And 5 goes into 5 once. Now we can multiply very easily. 1 times 72 is 72. And 1 times 1 is 1. So we know that 20% of $360 is $72. All right, let's have a look at the type of questions you might be asked here. A dress is marked for sale at $84. What is the amount of the discount? I think it says in a discount. So if 20% discount is offered, 30% discount is offered, is for 45% discount. Now the word discount here, which we need to be familiar with this term, is the amount reduced on a purchase. Okay, so if I bought something for $84 and let's say it was 10%, we know that 10% of $84 will be $8.40 because it's 84 divided by 10, so $8.40 would be the discount if it was a 10% discount. So these questions here, let's have a look at something similar. So we've got a few examples. Let's look at something like this as a last example, and then you can go ahead and do those questions. Let's look at, say, 16%, and the amount we're looking at here is $84. Of $84. We're finding the discount. So 16% of $84. Well, we know percent means to find hundredths. So it's 16 hundredths, which means 16%. We know of means to times, and we know we're going to put 84 over 1. Now, simplifying, we can divide this. We know 2 goes into 16. Actually, we can go 4, highest common factor is 4 into 16 and 100. 4 goes into 16 4 times, and 4 goes into 125 times. Okay? Can we simplify further? Well, 25, does that have any common factors with 84? Not really, because they're odd and even numbers, and so we can't do that any further. So we will have to multiply out 4 times 84. 4 4s are 16, 4 8s are 32, and 1 is 33. 336 over 25. And we can't simplify that, no. So we can divide that out. With these questions, I'd love you to go and find the highest common factors, but for something like this, you can just use your calculator to find it exactly. 13.44 to the second decimal place is in dollars. Okay, so 16% of $84 is $13.44. And yeah, that's your answer. All right. So can you go ahead now and make sure all of question 3 is answered? And that's it.